Dear members of the press, you're welcome to this briefing, and thank you so much for responding to our call on this very important occasion. Today we gather here to have a brief on the upcoming Tarehe Sita. That is the 45th anniversary of Tarehe Sita. And myself, I'm Colonel Henry Obo. I'm the Deputy Director of Defense Public Information, or the Deputy Spokesperson for Ministry of Defense. We shall have a short program on how it will go for the day. But before we go through this, I would like to bring warm greetings from the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi, who has not been able to be with us today, but he has delegated Major General Henry Masiko, who is the Joint Staff for Political Commissariat. He's going to be giving his message on his behalf. With us also we have Major General Masiko is here. With us also we have Brigadier General Michael Kibuye. He's the Director of Civil Military Cooperation with the Uganda Peoples Defence Forces. He will also have a word. And also we have Dr. Francis Xavier Pakehena, who will also have something for us. And finally, we shall be having Major Engineer Albert Mukama, who will also give the engineering brief. So the Major General will first brief, and thereafter he will call the respective subject experts, that's in civil military, medical, and engineering. And without wasting time, may I invite you, sir, and Major General Henry Masiko, who is standing in for the Chief of Defense Force, to come and give us this briefing. Thank you.
I want to thank Colonel Henry Obo, thank our hosts, the leadership of the Uganda Media Center, and also thank you, the fraternity of the media. As they have told you, I'm Major General Henry Masiko, the Joint Staff Political Commissar, but also I am a Member of Parliament representing Updf. I bring you once again greetings from the Chief of Defense Forces. Up to this morning, he had wished to meet you himself, but other state pressing tasks would not enable him meet you. But along the way, he promises he will have an interaction with you. He brings you warm greetings. So I am here to convey his brief. That is General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, Chief of Defense Forces and Special Presidential Advisor in Special Operations. His brief about the planned activities of the 45th Tarehe Sita anniversary celebrations to be celebrated in the part of this year, but climaxing in 2026 as it is the tradition. This will be across the country. However, the host region for national events is Kigezi sub-region. Friends and fellow citizens, Tarehe Sita serves as a tribute to the efforts of the founding members of the revolutionary forces, namely the National Resistance Army, later Uganda Peoples Defence Forces, in advancing a people-led revolution aimed at achieving freedom, democracy as key pillars for socio-economic transformation. Tarehe Sita is a moment to honor and acknowledge the contributions of earlier efforts way back, stretching to the independence nationalist movements, earlier struggles of the pioneers of the contemporary struggle, the University Students African Revolutionary Front of the 1960s, the Front for National Salvation, call it FRONASA, of the 1970s, and the special events of February 6, 1981, which marked the turning point in the people's struggle for liberation. Tarehe Sita is a symbolic day that marks the birth of a People's National Army. It is at the inception of February 6, 1981, and this occasion has always been jointly celebrated by the Army and the people of Uganda as a way of reinforcing the vital bond between the two. This year, into 2026, the focus of the Defense Forces activities and Tarehe Sita celebrations will be hosted in Kigezi sub-region, and it will run under the theme Defending the Gains of the Revolution and Honoring the Sacrifices of the Freedom Fighters, a call for national unity, peace, and socio-economic transformation. This is an acknowledgement of the outstanding contributions of some of the patriots, especially from Kigezi sub-region, towards the epic struggles by Front for National Salvation, the National Resistance Army, and the Uganda Peoples Defence Forces. Countrymen, the choice of Kigezi sub-region as the main focus of the 45th Tarehe Sita anniversary celebrations is informed by a number of considerations. One, the historic significance of Kigezi, particularly its association with Front for National Salvation activities. Kabale district particularly played a crucial role in the early efforts of the revolutionary struggle. Kigezi region was historically a base for some of the activists of FRONASA, like the Right Honorable Kainerugaba, Right Honorable Mama Mbabazi, and some departed activists who, unfortunately, some were executed by the government of Idi Amin Dada, like late Joseph Bitwali, late James Karambuzi, late David Kagoro Kanjire, others also who suffered for their association with the struggle, like the departed Bishop Festo Chivenjere, Bishop Barnabas Hailemana, the others associated in such struggles were Muzei Sheka from Kebison Rukunjiri, late Birihanze from Kabale town, late Rwaheru, late Karimuzo, who was murdered when he was serving as Vice Chancellor Makerere, late Charles Kasaza, a prominent businessman, late Tumusime, late Rugamba, late Kabagambe, who was murdered when he was a Saza chief, others like late Katugugu, who at various stages paid the ultimate price of their lives. The people of this region stood with the revolution, particularly in the most difficult time of 70s, and together with the neighborhood of this Kigezi region, which is Rwanda, and Democratic Republic of Congo are, to some extent, very well celebrated for enhancing the liberation struggle. Kigezi also, as a sub-region, has over the years been politically stable and fully supporting government programs. As we continue to leap forward, especially into the middle income status, it is crucial to appreciate and consolidate the political and ideological mobilization efforts in the region. Indeed, holding Tarehe Sita in this region will facilitate also the documentation of contributions of a number of the freedom fighters enumerated above. As per the UPDF tradition, the activities planned for the Defense Forces Week 2025-2026 are to be conducted in a spirit that reaffirms the indivisible strategic relationship between UPDF and the people regarded as the masters. On account of a regional rotation policy, we shall have main activities in the 6 districts and 3 municipalities of this region, namely Kabale Municipality, Kabale District, Kisoro Municipality, Kisoro District, Rukunjiri Municipality, Rukunjiri District, Ruchiga District, Rubanda District, and Kanungu District. During this period, a series of activities will include light quick impact construction projects, and the engineer will throw more light, medical outreach programs, Dr. Kano Bakehena will throw more light, some donations, especially to the youth of school-going age. The ladies in uniform also will have outreach programs, and finally, we shall have comprehensive political and civic outreach activities. On such occasions, we remember and appreciate the people-based support which has enabled the UPDF to register success after success. That support has always culminated in defeat of any anti-people forces, stretching back to the major defeat of the dictatorships in this country. Since January 1986, the government of NRM, which heralded a fundamental change, has provided a conducive political climate for democratic institutions to thrive, and thus enabling economic transformation in the country. The particular landmark achievement of having a people-centered, legitimate constitution has transformed the National Resistance Army into the UPDF, and emphasizing that this army is indeed owned and works for the population. Under our command-in-chief, General Yoweri Museveni, Ugandans are decisively marching towards socio-economic transformation as per the Vision 2040, implemented in a 5-year National Development Plan. Additional efforts crucial to the prosperity and security of the people include our commitment to regional and continental integration, thus ensuring larger and viable African market, and committed also towards eventual federation that guarantees our strategic security as Uganda and Africa. The UPDF has used this opportunity of the Defense Forces Week to appreciate generally the contribution of the population, and we renew our commitment to defending and protecting the people and the country. Throughout the Defense Forces activities, we do reach out not only to our veterans, but all strata of the population. So the interaction, which cements harmony, compatibility, and interdependence between ourselves and civilian population, is thoroughly ingrained in this year's theme. This year's Tarehe Sita activities are scheduled to commence slightly earlier than we normally do, because in the month of January, where we normally do more activities, we are cognizant that we shall be going through electoral activities. I wish now to highlight some of the key landmark activities in terms of timelines. As today we we give this brief to the nation, we are also alerting our own units, our own commanders, to commence preparations to celebrate in their areas of responsibility. Commencing tomorrow, 13th, our engineers will move into the region to start on the projects they have identified to give to the community. A big function launching these activities at a national level is slated for next Tuesday, the 18th of November, at the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs and the Joint UPDF headquarters, Mbuya, starting at 9 in the morning. And definitely, you as our friends, we are extending invitation to you to be present at that grand launch. Thereafter, there will be a session for the media and corporate entities and ministries to discuss how to cooperate into these Tarehe Sita activities. On 29th November 2025, our teams will especially insert or enter Kigezi sub-regions to commence what we call the army activities. Particularly, there will be political commissars, civic officers, our lawyers, our women personnel, plus the medical team, which will enter on 1st December. We have what we call a launch at regional level, which will be in Kisoro district on the 2nd of December at Saza Playground in Kisoro municipality. Thereafter, there will be simultaneous district launches on the 3rd December 2025, and activities will go on for 2 weeks in all the districts of Kigezi, but also activities will also be taking place countrywide where our forces are deployed. To note, we shall have another big ceremony in the region on 6th of January to hand over all our constructions to the communities that are going to benefit from these contributions. And of course, the main celebration will be, as usual, celebrated on the 6th of February in Kabale municipality at National Teachers College Kabale main ground. As I conclude, the UPDF salutes all Ugandans and the people of Kigezi sub-region in particular for their unwavering support since the founding days of the struggle to date, even when it has meant paying the ultimate price. The sacrifices have not been in vain. This is the reason why all Ugandans everywhere are invited to come celebrate with the army during these Defence Forces activities and eventually Tarehe Sita celebration marking 45 years since the commencement or the founding of UPDF as a people's force. The CDF emphasizes that as an army mandated to protect and defend the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Uganda, we assure the country that this period of electoral exercise will be peaceful and nobody will disturb the peace of the people, and thus allow an environment where every citizen will vote candidates of their own choice. Happy celebrations and a ruta continua for God and my country. Thank you for listening to me. As I did promise, my team of the experts who are going to be participating in different activities will each in 2 minutes just add a few of the things they are going to be involved in. And I will start with General Michael Chibuye, who is the Director of Civil Military Cooperation, to highlight what it means to engage in civil military cooperation as an army. Michael, you are most welcome.
The Joint Staff Political Commissariat intends to conduct political mobilization programs in the Kigezi region. And this program will be conducted in a series of days, and they include ideological orientation seminars for youth leaders from the sub-region, ideological seminars for religious leaders, and veterans will also be conducted in the same region. Barazas and radio talk shows will be conducted by key leaders, generals, senior and junior officers operating in every district. Community engagement will be held in the selected areas, aiming at sensitizing the high number of youth, women and elders who are part of the electorate. The departments of historical sites, monuments and diarists shall research on the sources of military history, record their experiences during the struggle for peace, security and democracy. And also invitations will be extended to the corporates, government agencies, media officials, UPDF retired generals, senior officers and key leaders from the sub-region. With respect to CIMIC, which I head, there will be strengthening of good relationship with the people of the region. We shall do cleaning activities to selected places of the communities. We shall plant trees in also selected areas of the district for purposes of environmental security. We shall conduct key engagements with the district officials and leaders. And also there will be memorable activities to be conducted to appreciate the FRONASA, as you heard the General talk about the contribution of the region. It had FRONASA, NRA, and UPDF supporters during the liberation struggle. We shall also be able to conduct and coordinate donations from the corporates. You heard him talk about corporates and other agencies. I'm now also going to talk about the Department of Formal Education, Sports and Culture. The Formal Education, Sports and Culture will support schools that are equally selected but very vulnerable with the following items: scholastic materials for pupils and students. There will be cultural entertainments from cultural troops. We shall organize sports and games competitions. At the end of the day, the winner will take a cow or a goat. And we shall also organize the debate competitions with students from selected secondary schools. That's all from me, and at this juncture I would like to invite Colonel Dr. Bakehena, who will talk about the medical issues, and thereafter will come Major Engineer, who will talk about the engineering construction projects. However, to note is that all these projects are of CIMIC in nature. I thank you.
Good morning, members of Force Estate. My name is Colonel Dr. Francis Xavier Bakehena. I head the Department of Public Health in the Uganda Peoples Defence Forces, and I'm the coordinator of all the medical services that we are going to carry out in the Kigezi region during our Tarehe Sita and Defence Forces Week activities. Normally, over the years, during our birthday, we normally give back to the people in terms of the projects the Joint Staff Political Commissariat has enumerated, but mainly from our part, we give back to the people by providing them with all the necessary and the needed health care that is prevailing in the region, especially in terms of surgeries and the medical services. For particularly Kigezi, we are going to have both surgery camps and medical camps. Surgery camps will be located in 2 places in each district. And also we shall have another medical camp also situated in 2 places in the district. These are called static camps. Then we'll also have other mobile medical camps that will move throughout the districts to provide the necessary medical services in the whole region. We are going to cover all the 6 districts in the Kigezi region. But in particular, we are going to concentrate on the conditions that are prevailing in the region in terms of care, and also will provide dental services, eye and optical care. We'll give out glasses, specs for all people who are no longer reading properly. We shall also have vector control activities, fighting all the vectors and vermin that cause diseases in the region, including mosquitoes, bats, or any other vector that bring or cause diseases. We also have health education and promotion in the region. Our film vans will move all through the region, conducting health education and promotion, advising the communities of what to do and what not to do in order to prevent conditions that are prevailing in the region. We also have some donations of mattresses in various health centers that are deficient, and also delivery beds, especially for mothers. As we did our rec, we found out there are some areas, some health facilities that need support in terms of maternity, where mothers were even delivering from the ground, but we'll support them. In so many towns, especially in these municipalities, the commissariat has highlighted there are youth that are engaged in drugs and other and becoming behaviors, we'll have our counselors who will go in and counsel these youth and other people so that they can change their behaviors. I'm going to highlight for those who come from, or those who will go to Kigezi. In Chisoro, we'll have 2 centers for static surgical and medical camp at Chisoro General Hospital and Chahafi Health Center 4, that is Chisoro. In Rwanda, we'll have Hamurwa Health Center 4 and Muko General Hospital. In Ruchiga, in Kabare, we'll have Rubaya Health Center 4 and Kamuchina Health Center 4. In Ruchiga district, we'll have Mparo Health Center 4 and Kamwezi Health Center 4. In Kanungu, we'll have Kanungu Health Center 4 and Chinchizi Health Center 4. And Rukunjiri shall be at Rugangali and Kempson Health Center 4. These will be our main camps for both static, surgical and medical camps. But other camps will be in other 4 areas or health centers in the district. For dental, eye, optical, TB, HIV, AIDS, circumcisions, and non-communicable disease screening, we'll also have their programs that will be scattered throughout the 6 districts in the region. Briefly, that is our program, and we shall insert on 1st December and extract on 15th December, taking the 2 weeks in the region. Thank you, and you are welcome. If you happen to be in Kigezi, come for treatment also.
My name is Albert Kamayevare, Major. I'm the Brigade Operations and Training Officer of the Engineers Brigade. I'm here to represent the Joint Staff, Engineers, and I bring you warm greetings from the Engineering Brigade Headquarters in Muhoozi. I bring you warm regards from the Joint Staff, Colonel Architect James Regaba. I bring you warm regards from the Commander, Colonel Engineer Chabo Namdongo, and the Deputy Commander, Major Engineer Okwan. Afande, you allow me, I would like to mention that the engineering projects for this Tarehe Sita will be spread in 6 districts and the 3 municipalities of Kigezi. And these projects have been carefully selected under the guidance of the district leaders, under the guidance of the Defense Organizing Committee and the strategic leadership at Mbuya headquarters. But most importantly, we've been looking for the impact of the projects we are going to put in Kigezi, and zeroing on the areas of human capacity development. Thereby, we're focusing on education and health. We're looking for projects that will take a short time. As Afande mentioned before, our projects are beginning tomorrow, and we're supposed to be completed by the 6th of January next year. So we're looking for projects that will take a short time. Of course, cost is a constraint. We're looking for projects that we can afford, and we did our best to equitably divide or distribute these projects amongst all the districts and the municipalities of Kigezi. The project types we zeroed on thereafter we did market stalls, recreation grounds, schools, health facilities, critical infrastructures like bridges and accommodation facilities. And all these projects are estimated to start tomorrow and end by the 6th of January next year. In summary, the whole of Kigezi, we're going to put up 9 classroom blocks, 5 housing units, 6 assorted sanitation facilities, 1 culvert bridge, another motorable timber bridge, and another foot bridge. We shall also build a market stall. We shall upgrade a monument. We shall build an incinerator and a maternity ward. To achieve this, we mobilize all the engineering forces across the UPDF services, the Air Forces, the Special Forces Command, and the Engineers Brigade, and the combat engineers. Thank you very much.